Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the Our Wisdom channel. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, new and old subscribers. And this evening, I don't plan on having a long video. This is basically me responding to an email that I received from one of my viewers, subscribers, and it's similar to videos that I've done, a video that I've done in the past. More specifically, and I'll link this video at the end so you guys can check it out. You know, why men cheat but never leave their wives. And this is kind of along the line. Well, this definitely is along the lines of that. So I'm gonna read her email out on here, and then I'm going to basically kind of go over some of the same things I went over in that previous video, and you guys can check out that video as well. So basically, what she was saying, and I'm gonna read it right here. There we go. Okay, so she goes, I was hoping you could make a video about your opinion or insight on this, if you will. My husband and I have been married for almost 7 years in February. He cheated the fifth year in our marriage that you know of. You know, I'm just throwing that out there. But 7 years coming in February, he cheated the fifth year in our marriage that you were made aware of. The way I found out was the woman texted his phone asking, "What are you doing?" And immediately I already knew it was another woman. So I called her. She didn't answer, but her voicemail picked up and stated her name. I asked my husband immediately, "Who is this woman? You know, who is such and such?" He froze, and I asked him, "Did you sleep with her?" He replied, "Yes." And I asked when, where, how, etc. You know, five W's and all that. He was nothing but completely honest with me, which is you kind of, a lot of women tend to have that issue, even though they find out that men are basically trying to beat around the bush. But this guy, I guess, he was caught in so many, you know, it wasn't like smoking gun for the most part, but he could have lied his way out of this. I know plenty of other dudes who could have finessed this situation. But anyway, he was nothing but completely honest with me. I totally respect him for his honesty. When I asked why, he said he's always wanted side pussy, but didn't act on it because he didn't want to hurt me. He says when he slipped up, it was a lack in discipline, and that I wasn't supposed to find out. The woman stated, so I guess she had an all out conversation with this lady with the side chick. The woman stated she knew he was married, and he also told me he told her that he was married and that he wasn't leaving me for her. I guess is what she's saying. I was mad as hell because I was betrayed, and I thought he would never do me like this out of everyone because we are friends first. So I thought. We are still married and together. However, I don't trust him anymore, and I feel like I should be and stay prepared financially and emotionally. Smart move. He's a very good husband and father, very attentive, patient, and gentle with me. Most of all, he's honest and protective. But it's that small fact, the infidelity part, that got me thinking, is it possible forever? I'm going to touch on that. Is it possible forever? That you know of, once again. Everyone is entitled to mistakes, but I don't want to fall victim of once a cheater, always a cheater stigma. What do you think? From a man's point of view, do you really love someone if you can cheat on them knowing it's a possibility that you could destroy them by your actions? I'm not a fool. Men do not associate love with sex. As a woman, it's complex to overstand that way beyond saying it. So, interesting email what she's writing. And basically I guess you're asking me for reassurance or validation on some things. But at the end of the day, I don't know your husband. It's just kind of weird. You say in the fifth year that you found out this could have been going on. He could have been had a situation. But the thing is, it sounds like this was the only issue that you've had with him, and he probably tightened himself up after, this whole slip up. So I'm not here to basically tell you whether you should or shouldn't stay with someone. Just like I said in my previous video, people do mess up, just like you said it, just like you said in this email. Men mess up, women mess up. It all depends at the end of the day in relationships on what you're willing to tolerate, what you're willing to accept. If this is keeping you up at night, if this is bothering you, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to put up with this thing that's eating away at you? That's what it sounds like. It's eating away with you because you still, there's still an insecurity in you by you writing this. You do believe that he's still cheating on you, obviously, because otherwise you wouldn't be writing this. Um, the thing is, what are you going to do? Are you going to sit back and are you going to worry about it? Are you going to question everything? Are you going to go through his phone? Are you going to launch an investigation, as I like to call it, which some people do? Are you going to go out of your way? What's going at this point? You have to personally ask yourself, what is it that's going to give you a peace of mind in this situation? Is there anything that he can do to give you a peace of mind? What can you do personally to give you a peace of mind? Or that's what you have to come to terms with and reconcile that within yourself. Because there's a thing which we say, and I believe it also, is that a man, this can be a man or a woman, their good deeds are supposed to far outweigh their bad deeds or their shortcomings and things like that. It sounds like he's a good guy, you know. You guys are married, it's marriage. People, there's going to be infidelities. It's not saying that it's acceptable, but when you take vows, many people skip over these vows and don't realize that these things are part of the vows. Sickness and health, death do you part, all these other things. But that doesn't mean that somebody can just keep doing this repeatedly, be a serial cheater, if you will. He has to fix himself, and he sounds like, based off what you wrote here, you don't have anything negative to say about him other than this. People slip up, if you will, or if you want to say a moment of weakness. But it sounds like he fixed himself. But the thing is, have you fixed yourself as far as you being able to deal with this? That's the biggest thing about this, my answer to this. Not to backtrack on everything that you wrote here. I mean, he was honest with you. He told you that he did it. He told you everything that happened. He and the woman told you, everything. And the thing that I don't get is at what point, and not to attack or backtrack, but my thing is what I would like to know from him is at what point did he decide he needed some side pussy? How deep in the game was he when he decided this? You know what I'm saying? Because as men and women too, because women cheat as well, it's that thrill, it's that taboo, it's that forbidden thing, or having this relationship, and this woman that he was probably cheating with was probably feeling the same way, you know. But once again, like I said, it sounds like he fixed himself. I'm not making an excuse for him, but from what you're telling me, he's doing everything a husband should. And a lot of us as men, husbands, boyfriends, we don't even fulfill a lot of this stuff. A lot of us have these shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? He's saying very attentive, he's patient, he's gentle with you, he's a great father, he's honest that you know of. You haven't caught him up in anything. He's protective. Um but I think in the back of your mind, you still feel some type of way because your trust has been taken. And sometimes you have to be a strong person in order to take someone back or to be able to get over cheating on someone, or being cheated on. You have to be a strong person to be able to get over that, or either a foolish one. I mean, but to answer your question, and this kind of goes back. If you haven't watched the video, like I said, I'll link it on here. You asked me from my point of view, do you really love someone if you can cheat on them knowing it's a possibility that you could destroy them by your actions? That, I guess love is one of those things where, do you really love someone if you cheat on them? Do you really love them at the end of the day? Is it possible? I believe it's possible, but I don't think once you're married that you should engage in things like that. I mean, you knowing that this could destroy your marriage, this could destroy everything that you guys have built together. I don't know what to describe that. It's definitely not right. Um, this happens obviously every day across the world. People just roll the dice, but it goes to show, do you really? But at the end of the day, do you really love someone if they have done this, or if they're willing to do this or repeatedly do this? You know, that's one of those things. I wouldn't say that he doesn't love you, because at the end of the day, you asked me, you said I'm not a fool. Men do not associate love with sex, which is correct. Men don't associate love with sex. Men are visual creatures. It doesn't necessarily mean that he's in love with the woman or wants to be with the woman. It's just something, and it's not making excuses, but that's just the way men are. Women, for the most part, want to. I mean, not that women don't have. It's not the same thing with someone. Well, women want to have an emotional connection when they are intimate sexually with a man. They are want to have that emotional connection for the most part. Men, it's not the same way. We're like animals. We're creatures. We're visual creatures. We like to see. We like to experience, and we go on about your business. And it's hard for some women to understand that, but you know, but she says, as a woman, it's complex to overstand that way beyond saying it. At the end of the day, if you're looking for validation on your points, you bring up some strong points, but it's all about what you're willing to put up with at the end of the day, and what you're willing to deal with. Um, 2 years, you guys are going on 2 years since you found out. You guys been through counseling. You guys worked past it. It's it's all about what you're willing to tolerate. Why he did it, he probably, other than him saying side pussy, what does that mean as far as you? Are you not fulfilling him sexually? Is that why you feel it? And this is not a knock against you, because this is where communication comes in with your significant other. Why did he do it? Just for side? He wanted a side piece. What does that mean? Your wife's not fulfilling you sexually? You know, it's Men will do these things, like I said in another video, because they have the peace at home, they have the stability at home, but they have this other desire, this itch to do these things outside of their marriage or relationship. What type of wife you are, I don't know. You didn't say what type of wife you are. At the end of the day, that's subjective, just based upon your opinion. You know, how are you treating him? That could be part of this whole equation. This You're just speaking from your point of view about what happened, and you said what kind of guy he is, but we don't. It's yet to be said what type of woman you are. I'm not placing the blame. I'm just, these are certain things. If you want to, other than him saying he wanted a side piece, you know, men understand when they have a good woman at home. They have a history. I'm just going off of some of the things I talked about in the last video. Good women are hard to come by. Some men don't want to go through all that as far as divorce and things like that. Sex comes easily. A cheap thrill comes easily a lot of times. He's still in love with you despite whatever issues you may have, and you'll be that support. This other thing, I mean, it is what it is. People been cheating on each other for years. Men been cheating on your grandfather. Your grandfather's been cheating on your grandma. Things like that. It just happens. So my advice to you, other than what you were asking me, in a nutshell, just to wrap up this video, it doesn't mean he's in love with this other woman. It doesn't mean that he wants to be with this other woman, but it wasn't right because he only stopped because he got caught. That's if he actually stopped. You know what I mean? But it's up to you what you're willing to put up with, how you're willing to live your life, things like that. So I hope I answered your question. That's a personal decision for yourself and how you decide to move forward. And with that being said, I hope this has been beneficial to all you guys who will be watching this video. Make sure you, if you want to check out my other video, it'll be, I'll have it linked in the last 10 seconds of this video for those of you obviously that's watching this on YouTube. You'll see it on there. Make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Add me on Facebook, Instagram, all social media outlets. Check out my links in the description below. If you got any questions or any topics you'd like me to discuss, feel free to email me those. If you want to book a one-on-one with yours truly, make sure you shoot me an email. We can set that up, things like that. And appreciate all you guys tuning in. Peace be upon you in the mercy and blessings of the Almighty. And I'll catch you guys on the next live stream or chat. I'm out of here. Peace.